it is finally time for another proper update of NIE. So, what we've been really working on is a lot of in between round animations. We'll go ahead and set it to 3 rounds again, as well as just some general glitch fixing, namely the biggest ones being an infinite loop that could occur, and an instance where you could pause the game and basically and on pause and re-enable controls of your characters in between rounds and at the end of a game, which is fully unintentional. Beyond that, you kind of seen what we had otherwise. We do have instances like this where you can get this going. Of course, it's only perfect ground if you're at full health. So if you do damage, the player one wins. We'll only say player one's wins. Same with player two wins. We'll be saying perfect ground if you're at full health. Boom, boom. There is also a draw event. Notably, drawing the game right now technically breaks it. So that is a bit of a concern. But otherwise, boom, hit them down. They'll pause the clock. They go down to their thing. They get back up, and once they are done with their get up animation, that will actually trigger an event to have everyone heal, and then have the clock reset, and have everything go back to normal. It's pretty hard to basically be like, oh, look at this. Once you knock down your opponent, you can't pause the game. I'm spamming the pause button. You cannot pause the game. Also, we just won, so you can't pause the game that way either. But now we also have this new screen, which I am severely blocking a good portion of because player one and player two's win screens are inverses of each other. So this is the player two win screen. Return to character select, exit to main menu, rematch. Move myself back to where I was on the screen. Go back over here and kind of let player one win this time. Boom, boom. Same thing, get up, perfect round, boom, boom, boom. Those animations are all there. Though we do also need to go back to character selection and show the other get up animation. Because now that we've seen both yours and yours, we've saw yours a bit more because the player two won, so we'll keep you here and we'll have Evie, our second player, bring them down to low health. You'll see this, boom, giant thing, boom, get out of it, go around, go back to your place, and everything heals. That does point out another thing I need to do with in between rounds is I need to make it to where the winning player, if they're this close to the other player, they move back a little bit. So you can kind of add a little bit more space, something like that amount of distance. Um, there also is going to be victory animation, so taunting and things of that sort. So that's going to be really what drives situations like when you get your draw, because otherwise we don't have an animation trigger currently. We have animation triggers for all the other things we're winning, but that is something we still are desperately in need of. Beyond that, the game's just kind of in a better place right now. This has really been the majority of things. What I have to do next is give taunt animations for all three characters at all 5 stages. So 15-ish animations before the next update. We might have a couple other things included in that update, but that should probably be the majority of it. Kind of just a more artistic update. We'll have you down there, so we're just not a perfect win as well. Oh, it's right. I just did player two again. I need to do the opposite. But yeah, things are working a lot better. Things are really smooth right now for in between rounds. Um, we do still need something like a 3-2-1 fight at the very beginning, as well as between rounds, kind of saying round two, round three, round four, final round, that kind of situation. So it's not perfect yet. It still has a lot of work that needs done. But once we have all that, as well as we have fixed some stuff with how the healing works between rounds to where it just heals you 100% regardless at the very end. So even if you took like an extra hit as you were dying, you will still get plenty enough healing to where you'll be perfectly fine. I guess something that I could realize right now that's going to make this game kind of hard is there's not really a good place for a face cam if you are streaming this game or anything of that sort. Because at some point you're going to block important information. Not that this information is really that important. It's just the rematch, return to character select, exit to main menu. Notably, also, of course, the enemy that is down will be remaining in their down position. I would like to create a actual win, like overall animation for each character. I'm not sure if it'll be a case where it happens at each stage, like high 3D, low 3D, vector, low pixel, high pixel. Obviously, those last two are in opposite order, but it might just be a case like this, though I highly doubt it. Though I think it might, if anything, it'd either be a case where it kind of chills like this, or it just goes to a victory animation, kind of like Mortal Kombat has, where it goes to your full 3D form and they do something cool or fancy or whatever. So, depending on how much time I want to spend on it, I could very easily go through and be like, hey, it works for all your forms. Notably, something I need to do is also create a custom cursor or pay someone else to make a custom cursor. So it's a bit more in line with the game. It's probably gonna be like a pixel situation. The idea in mind is kind of like a white center with an outline of color with another outline of white. That is the idea in mind. And of course, you'll probably be color customizable, namely leads to the three main characters and probably having a rainbow version as well, because that's cool. But yeah, this is where the game is at. I'm trying to figure out if I want to like have it when you get to like this stage, if I want the top three information, like all this information from the previous thing to be like halfway transparent, because we're gonna be getting more UI at the bottom once we have our super meter. But for now, this is very much working. A lot of things to kind of just figure out as I go, though. There's also a lot more assets with the healing pod that you guys are seeing for character E, as I have to use that in all the forms because it's going to be part of the super. So it's going to be a healing pod super. So there is already a high pixel vector, high 3D and low 3D form of that healing pod. So a lot more to come. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye bye.